you'd look like Cinderella. Kate Middleton apologizes for not wearing a pretty dress when 3-year-old tells her she doesn't look like a real princess during visit to Wales. Kate Middleton apologized to a little girl for not wearing a pretty dress after the 3-year-old said she had been looking forward to meeting a real princess on a royal visit today. Ryan Costello and her daughter Annabelle, 3, met the Duchess of Cambridge and Prince William, 37, while the royal couple visited the RNLI Mumbles lifeboat station in the Mumbles near Swansea this afternoon. The mother said her young daughter was excited to meet a real princess because she loves fairy tales and particularly Cinderella, and luckily the pair were able to greet the Duchess shortly after the Cambridges arrived at the pier. But when Ryan explained to the Duchess that Annabelle was looking forward to meeting royalty in the flesh, Kate apologized, saying, "I'm really sorry I'm not wearing a pretty dress today." The 3-year-old replied to the Duchess, "I thought you'd look like Cinderella." Speaking to Female, Ryan recalled, "My daughter and I met Kate Middleton today at Mumbles Pier, where we waited an hour to see her. My daughter loves fairy tales and Cinderella, and she was really excited to meet a real princess. We had been really excited so decided to get down to the pier. My daughter's school were also there so we stood with them and chatted to other parents as we waited." Luckily for Ryan and Annabelle, the royal couple's car came to a stop right in front of their group of well-wishers, and the Duchess came straight over to greet the pair. "We were incredibly lucky her car came and stopped right in front of us and she came straight over to us," Ryan revealed. "I said, 'Thank you so much for coming to visit us in Wales.' And she said, 'We always like coming back to Wales since we lived in Anglesey.'" Kate then took a moment to greet Annabelle, who was in her mother's arms, and Ryan explained her daughter's excitement to meet a real princess close to her home. Kate said, "I'm really sorry I'm not wearing a pretty dress today." And Annabelle said, "I thought you'd look like Cinderella," Ryan said. Instead of a pretty dress, Kate was wearing a long, navy maxi coat from Hobbs, which retailed for £349, alongside a red knitted dress and a heart print scarf. Ryan explained that, despite not wearing a ball gown like Cinderella, Annabelle was so taken with the Duchess and gave her a huge hug. Kate was all smiles and very friendly. Annabelle was so taken with her, she went up and gave her a huge hug and I was extremely surprised that Kate embraced her in such a way, she said. "I hope in 10 years Annabelle can look back and realize what an amazing encounter this has been." The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge had been visiting the RNLI station as part of a busy afternoon of engagements in South Wales, which saw them visit the Port Talbot Steel Works in blue and yellow overalls and a hard hat. The area's biggest employer and one of the most important across Wales, Tata Steel, welcomed the Cambridges to its Port Talbot plant to learn about its role in UK manufacturing, from food cans to warships and cars. The couple wore protective clothing including hard hats, goggles and a jacket for their guided tour of the plant's hot strip mill where some of its 4,000-strong workforce are employed. The royals watched as ingots of steel were heated and passed through rollers which reduced their size in a process that produced a loud rumble and huge plumes of steam as the metal, glowing orange and radiating blistering heat, was coiled up. In the control room, known as the pulpit, the couple chatted to staff about the process and were told the steel they saw was being reduced to 5 mm in thickness would be used in car manufacturing. Tata announced in November it would be cutting up to 1,000 UK jobs, part of a total reduction of up to 3,000 across Europe. The UK steel industry has battled against a glut of steel on the world market and other problems. Before leaving, William chatted to Tata apprentices and told them, "Tata treat you well, that must settle some of your fears." The couple also visited an ice cream parlor, where they met local families and Kate was surprised by 2 of her prep school teachers. The Duchess hugged Denise Evans Alford and husband Kevin Alford who had travelled from their home in Carmarthen to meet Kate, the first time they have seen her in 24 years. They both taught Kate, as well as siblings Pippa and James, at St Andrew's Prep School in Pangbourne, Berkshire. Mrs. Evans Alford taught at the school, while Mr. Alford taught French and German to Kate. Kate exclaimed it's such a small world after seeing her old teachers following a visit to Joe's ice cream parlor, run by the fifth generation of a family originally from Italy, where the Duke and Duchess were served sweet treats and met parents who had completed Kate's early years survey. The final stop for the Duke and Duchess was Port Talbot's Bulldogs Boxing and Community Activities Center, where they spoke to children being helped through tough upbringings and mental health issues by boxing and fitness. Kate took part in a teamwork exercise with some of the children, where the group stood in a line holding sections of a pipe and steered a small orange ball from one end to the other. The Duchess was forced to poke the ball from her section into one held by a young girl next to her after getting into difficulty and joked, "Slight cheating." Club member Jasmine, 9, was approached by Kate after the exercise and spoke about using the center. Jasmine said afterwards, "She said it was nice coming to visit us. I told her, you should never give up, you should persevere, which is what they teach us here. You keep on trying and never give up." Samantha Fox, project coordinator at Bulldog Boxing, praised the royal couple for making the young members feel really at ease and said the gifts of boxing gloves and pads was the most appropriate thing to give them. She said, "They were asking the young people about what they do here, asking what activities they take part in. They were really engaging, which is fantastic."